Hey guys, this is Jay with Lunar Tarot. So I've been a little busy recently doing some tarot shopping, and today I'll share with you what's in this box. I've got a couple of really cool decks that will become review videos soon, and some will be list videos, and I've got a couple of really interesting books here that I would like to share with you as well. So without further ado, let's have a look what's inside. So some of these I haven't even unpacked yet, so we're going to do it together. You've got these two decks here, and I'll do a full review of them at some point. So this is for upcoming masculine tarot. I know some of you had a lot of interest in masculine tarot, which I think is quite rare in tarot. A lot of decks say either balanced decks or they more geared towards sacred feminine, and I thought it would be a really cool project to put some of a video together to show you some of the masculine side of tarot. Let's have a look at this. So this is a deck made by Lo Scarabeo, and it's the same author, Jack Sethroth. Well, he collaborated with Alan Dempster on this one, and they have a very similar, like a very masculine and dark style, and I thought that would be a really good candidate for a masculine deck. All right, this is excellent. The cardstock, actually, I know that Lo Scarabeo hasn't been the best for the thick and sturdy cards, but this is good. This is quite thick, and that's exactly what I expected. So this is matches the Amazon page. It's pretty cool. I'm loving this already. Okay, I will do a full review in the next few days, and probably go with one of the more recent decks, just because, as you probably know, my channel is about new and exciting decks, but also sometimes I'll put together a list of thematic decks. Right, this is from the same author. Let's take a look at this one. Beautiful embossed silver print here. Very cool. The guidebook. Yeah, nice. Okay, these are matte finish cards. Again, similar quality. I think somehow Lo Scarabeo or maybe Jack Sethroth did some talking and a prayer has been heard. They finally came up with a proper thickness cards, and these cards look really good. Nice back. It's cool writing here. All right, I'm loving this already. And look at this symbolism here. They combine different spiritual paths into one. Oh, I really like this. All right, this has got a good vibe to it. Now this is another interesting deck, also by Lo Scarabeo. I'm investing so much in this company. I think at some point I'm gonna have to buy the shares. I don't know if they actually publicly traded, but let's have a look what's in this one. Whew, that was something. The plastic just didn't want to come off of this deck. I don't know, for whatever reason. Right, another plastic box here, packaging. All right, let's do this one. Wow, that was something. It's another set of plastic here. Right, slightly, I think, a bit more budget feeling deck, but the imagery is supposed to be really good on this one. So this is Knights Templar, also by Lo Scarabeo. Whoa, okay, that's really good. The Fool, the Magician. Oh, this is excellent. Okay, I'm loving this already. Okay, so and the quality of cards, I think this is similar to the ones I reviewed recently, but slightly thicker. Maybe it's a recent thing with Los Scarabeo. I don't know. Maybe you can drop me a comment about the paper quality, because somehow cards getting thinner and thinner with new releases. I'm not sure what's happening with this. All right, so this is supposed to be a really cool deck. The images in it are slightly raw from what I saw, but also I think this is a good candidate for the masculine deck. Let's have a look at it together. Here we go. That was much easier, this one. Yeah, and Golden Dawn decks, they weren't just given to someone. They would get a deck created by hand by another member, and they would be given some time to learn it and then create their own copy. So we're very lucky these days. You can just buy a deck and start using it. I think I found a hack. Did I miss this all the time? Was it on the other box as well? I don't know. Let me try to remove this without damaging the deck. So this is another Los Scarabeo deck. So this is obviously the back of a card. You can see I'm a professional. This is the full card. The Magician. Oh, I love how raw these images are. Look at that. Okay, this is gonna be a good one too. I'm loving this already. Now I don't know if I want to review this deck on its own, because it's been a while since it was published. Nice thickness of cards. I mean, it's not the thinnest cards I've seen. And I just don't know if I want to do a dedicated review, because a lot of very talented tarot reviewers who already did them, and you can always find one on YouTube. But we'll see how we go. I'm definitely going to review some of those guys there, because they're newish decks, and I think the masculine side of tarot doesn't get that much visibility, I think, or at least when I was trying to put this list together. Oof, it was hard work, believe me. All right, so we got 3 next ones, and I've got this another idea of a list, and I actually wanted to see them myself. So they are quite unique decks right now. I'll tell you why I got them as we go, and I'll tell you what list I'll be using them for. So this was much easier to do. I think Los Scarabeo uses some plastic. It just doesn't agree with me. So Morgan Greer Tarot, it's been around, I want to say from 1970s. 1979 it was closed. Let me undo this and I'll tell you a bit of story about this deck. So this is classic from the US game systems, and it's a RWS clone, right? But look at this. How cool is this? So these are RWS cards, but they zoomed in, and they completely reworked as well. I'm not sure what year this is, but you get like a much closer look to the characters, and that's why I think it's going to be a really good addition to the best decks for beginners. I know it's probably 1,000 lists out there, but I want to do mine. And I want to play with these decks as well, because I think they're really cool decks to use for reading. If you guys have any of these, let me know how you use them. Did you find them be useful, or do you prefer traditional RWS look and feel? Because I'm using a clone that is very similar in design to the original RWS, but I like the modern look, right? It's kind of cool to work with something that's got this fresher look, but it's also a classic. All right, let's have a look at this one. So this is a Llewellyn deck. I'm not sure if it was a collaboration with Los Scarabeo, because they do a few of those, and they would normally brand them as Llewellyn, or at least in Australia they do, but they've been released by Llewellyn. Okay, more plastic. I'll be with you in a sec. Whew. We got the box cards freed from the plastic. So this is another RWS clone, but it's got like a sort of pagan medieval look to it, hence the name. I will dive into the structure of the deck and everything when I actually do a proper review, but I think it's also going to be a deck that I will look at that one. That's really nice. I'll probably do it as a part of a list. Page of Wands. Wow. The best decks for beginners reworked. This is a really good deck. Wow. It's a beautiful 10 of Cups edition. That's really good. And the cardstock is really nice too. It reminds me of this like really old classic playing cards. Similar feel to it. Should we have a look at the next one? Now this is an interesting deck. Also going to be a part of the best decks for beginners video, and it's also RWS. I actually don't like to use word clone. It sort of implies that we copying something, but let's call it RWS based deck. And this is a Slavic deck. Let's look at the design of it, and it looks really cool. Now I don't know if it's gonna match with nice book, by the way. It's good waxy finish here. I don't know if it's gonna match the folk style of the finished tarot that I did a while back. That deck is really unique. I just open this up. So I think it's really hard to match that energy, but we'll see how we go with this one. Oh yeah, it's really nice. Let's just look at some random cards. The Hermit. 5 of Wheels. Okay, I think this is a 5 of Pentacles, but they redesigned it. It's called Wheels here. A lot of like sun on these cards, and oh, of course it gets cold in Russia. Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's got its own style. Yeah, nice. I'm looking forward to reviewing this one. I think my spidey senses didn't fail me this time when I was picking this deck, and it's going to be a nice refresher, I think, for best decks for beginners, because we normally go our own way, as I found out recently based on your comments, or quite often it's just you know, clones of RWS slightly changed, slightly refreshed. All right, now we are on to books, and they're all unique books. So I think Minor Arcana isn't given justice, and because we often see books focus on Major Arcana and they kind of skip through. Now it took me a while to find a good book on Minor Arcana. I finished reading one, and this is the second one, and this is talks about the cold cards. So this is just a deck dedicated to cold cards, which is pretty cool. There's another book that I've been reading that doesn't really cover, it focuses on the Peeps card primarily, and which I found been excellent. It's based on the Kabbalah in the Tree of Life, and this one goes into cold cards specifically. So they sort of complement each other, I think, because this is also based on Kabbalah, and you have to be a little bit careful, because if you're using Golden Dawn interpretation, they are different. But at the same time, I really loved reading the other book because it had very vivid stories about meanings of the cards and history. I'm hoping this is going to be a similar one. Now this is another interesting book. I haven't started looking at it. I just read a preview of what it's about, and written by the tarot artist. I think John has a YouTube channel as well, and I think he published created a tarot deck as well. Curious about this, quite a unique angle. Just want to see how different it is from other books. And this is a very new book. And I have a science background, and I was trying to find out what's the mechanics behind it. Why do certain things work in a way, and like, why tarot? It's used for so many different things, and this book is relatively new. I think it's probably like 2 months old. Written by this gentleman here, Siddharth Ramakrishnan. Also been endorsed by Mary Greer. I haven't read it yet. Obviously, I just looked at it and literally arrived a couple of weeks ago. But I'm looking forward to reading it. I always love these fresh and new ideas about tarot. I think it needs more attention. I think it's way beyond what traditional tarot was perceived as, and people who are far away from it, they still think it's sort of some kind of the old craft that is just magic and doesn't really do anything. It's more of like a witchcrafty type of thing that most people don't want to have anything to do with. And I like how people gradually getting into studying tarot, learning, and why it can be an amazing tool for personal development, not just divination. I think that's what tarot became. It's no longer a tool of figuring out what's going to happen with you tomorrow, or if should you buy a lottery, or if your marriage is going to work out, but more about self-reflection, right? Now I've got one more thing that came this month, and let me just unpack it and show you what it does. Again, I haven't tried it yet. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And if you haven't figured out what this yet, don't worry. I mean, neither. We're doing it together. I'm just hoping it's not going to break in front of the camera. Okay, I don't think I'm doing it right. Right, so I think for this thing to work, I have to switch the light off and show you. But it's supposed to be amazing. So if I press this button, you get this beautiful world card. You can have different colors with it. And I thought it would be a really cool thing to have in the background, or maybe on the bookshelf. So these are all the tarot goodies I got for this month. I hope you like this. Do you have any of those decks in your collection? I would like to know. Any of those books? What do you think of them? And also, do you have any accessories, tarot accessories like this one? I think that there's a few of them out there, but they're quite difficult to find. Hope you enjoyed this. This is Jay with Lunar Tarot. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.